I'm gonna start recording my input shit. You are not involved in the recording, cause fuck you. I don't record them. Oh god. I forgot how much of a bitch null test is. Feel free to continue talking and like judging me for using OBS on Steam. Yeah, I'm glad I got someone else to take the judgment. Okay, fuck you, Leon. Leon. How about you, Leon, these nuts? You don't give a shit. I paused my music because you were talking at me for a little bit. How dare you? I was listening to that. I need to start my music back now again. I forgot how much of a bitch this level was. It's almost as if it took me an hour last night to make no progress at all. Or no, more of an hour and a half. Actually, no, I can literally... An hour and 48 minutes. Wait, no, that's just how long it took me for the... Oh, damn, I'm getting close. No, I'm not getting close. I'm getting closer. Use relativistic definitions to make yourself sound better. What? God damn it. It's almost as if I'm doing the hardest possible vanilla challenge in this game. Why am I losing at what? Why am I losing what sometimes and not losing what? What do you mean? What's confusing you, sir? Win condition, beat all the enemies. Kill them all. Um, you're speaking really fucking quietly. 200%. What? Because the clock is just when the next bout of enemies will spawn if you don't already kill the other enemies. And the reason I'm dying is because I'm getting shot in the face by a laser. Fuck off. Basically, the first half of this is just a lot of RNG, and then the second half is just lock the fuck in. It's not really that close to perfect, pixel perfect. It's really just RNG. Like, there's a lot of wiggle room as long as you get the right RNG. Well, this is fucked. That was fucked up. Nice. Fuck! Ricky, kick me faster, you bitch. That shotgunner really is just the biggest problem of the run, of this screen. An hour and 30 minutes? Oh, on the entire game I've spent, I don't know. Because there's the 10-hour rollover. Basically, the game can't count more than 10 hours, so it just doesn't. So, because it makes the UI look a lot better. But it makes the UI look nicer. And plus, it's not like it affects anything gameplay-wise, because no one's gonna reach 10 hours. No one under normal gameplay reaches 10 hours. Like, under normal gameplay, you shouldn't take more than 10 hours in a single run. And even then, if you take 10 hours in a single run, then you can, as long as you don't take more than 10 hours on a single level, you can still piece together what your total time would have been if it didn't do 10-hour rollover. But for the entire run, I'd say about 12 hours. For this screen, I know it's about an hour and 40 minutes. I'm near the end. This is not the penultimate level, but the level right before that. And this is the last screen of the penultimate level. Or this is the last screen of this level. Or the last actual gameplay screen. There's still story bits, but that doesn't really count. And theoretically, the rest of the game past this, other than 2 rooms, should be trivial at worst. Like, the rest of this entire, like, level took me about 15 minutes. This one screen, however, has taken me an hour and 40 minutes. Ish. Just over. What do you mean? Level or screen? Yeah. Um, well, I don't know that for sure, because I haven't done this specific route of the challenge. But about 5 times, I'd say. But not all of them are as difficult as the first one, because firstly, that. Secondly, the laser will speed up as it goes on, making it easier to dodge. Or, well, easier for me to dodge. For normal people, it makes it harder to dodge. But for this challenge in particular, it makes it easier. Oh shit, the Ricky wasn't supposed to die, you fuckhead. Well, that's fucked up. Isn't it gonna be fun when I try and get someone who's only done this challenge once on normal mode to try and do this challenge? Because this is the hard mode version of the challenge. Like, it's me or them. Yeah, but that's just par for the course. Like, it's a damn hard challenge, so it's of course gonna take them a while. The slightly easier version of this challenge, called Min Roll Challenge, takes about 10 hours typically on your first playthrough. On the easier version of this challenge, where I used an easier sword and skipped a few rooms that just like were almost impossible, um, it took me 19 hours to beat it for my first try. So this isn't even the worst one with RNG. Like the rest of the game, like everything outside the problem levels, I've called them, is like really easy, basically. Like, or at least all skill based. But like this part but the problem levels, as I call them, end up being like hours of time. Like you've got Prison 4, Studio 4, Mansion 4, Mansion 5. Um, Chinatown's pretty damn easy. If you do min Dragon Dashes, Dragon Tape's a bitch. But that's if you do the extra challenge on top of it. Then Slaughterhouse is easy up until the level right before this, and then this screen. Then Bunker is easy up till Bunker 6. And then Bunker Part 2 is easy up until Headhunter Part 2. Yeah, that's because not a lot of people have the same raw determination I do. But hey, the nice thing about this is everything I do is a world first or a world record. Play the game? The Discord server has. This is the best way I'm gonna find it. The Discord server has how many people? How do I see how many people are in a Discord server? It doesn't matter. Okay, how do I see in Steam? Storm page. At least 22,000. Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of people who play this game, just no one has the raw determination to do it without using the keyboard. Because that's what the challenge I'm doing is basically no keyboard. Or minimum keyboard. Because it is impossible to beat it without the keyboard. Who would have thought? Fuck, damn, that's really tight. I think I need to push the... I need to push the Terry, then double back and kill the... Then push further, go through the laser, then kill the same side shield guy, then kill the other side shield guy. And then that's just straight into strong Terrys, I'm pretty sure. And then that's the end of the end of this screen. Actually, I need to check. So you've got the shotgunners, then the gunner Ricky, gunner, shotgunner, gunner Ricky, Terry, shield guys, Terry's. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's Terry, shield guy, Terry. So I'm pretty close to actually beating it. It's just I've got to get past that one level. Or that one set of enemies. Because theoretically, the Terry shouldn't be that bad. Because Terrys are always pretty easy to kill, especially if you're only dealing with one, because then you can basically just bullet dance, as I've come to call it. And that just makes life piss easy. Okay. Okay, fuck you. Okay. Save the Ricky. Eat my shit. I think I'm getting better at ensuring that I have the highest chance of getting through the laser. Still, that chance is somewhat bad. Yeah, there you go. That was fucked. Yeah. The second I missed deflecting anything in the first shotgun blast, I was fucked. With the easier sword, this level is just easy as shit because you basically don't have to deal with much of the RNG. A lot of the laser RNG is subsided by you being on cycle to have a kicking enemy ready to kick your teeth in. And then you can just slide by the laser. But in this, you don't have that benefit because you're a lot slower, so you're typically off cycle by the time the laser gets you. And that leads to the laser being a lot more of an issue, and also you have to deal with a lot more enemies because you can't just quick kill them by shooting a projectile at them. No? Do you think anyone else wants to attempt this bullshit? No, no one's even attempted this. People have attempted normal mode and then given up. One person has attempted normal mode and beaten it, aside from me. I started actually fucking speedrunning the category. But that's just because I'm a fucking masochist, apparently. But one person started, then gave up. Then another person started and actually beat it. And that's the same person who's going to try and do this. Maybe this weekend at some point. Maybe. That depends on if they're busy or not. But yeah. They're not going to have a very fun time. Because a lot of the tricks in this challenge you need to like master in order to like do really anything. And in their normal mode run, they could barely understand like half of them and just were barely able to scrape by. So they're a little bit fucked when it comes to that. But luckily, there's only like, I'd say 20 places where you have to do the easier version of the trick. And then like 3 places where you have to use the harder version of the trick. But that's a them problem. Maybe actually doing a bullet bounce off the first shield guy would be nice. Or a momentum bounce. That didn't help. That didn't help at all. Fucking help. Fuck. This is bad. Okay, yeah. Okay. Okay. Push the Terry. Fuck! The Terry shot me in the goddamn face. I was thinking I'd get the reflect on the first bullet so that he wouldn't get to a 5th bullet, but either I missed the first bullet or he just so happened to be able to get out a 5th bullet. And that just kind of shot me in the face. It's not even really brute force. I am like I am figuring out some degree of the thing. There's just parts that are RNG, so I have to make it through those parts that are RNG. This isn't even the worst situation where I like tried to use brute force, which the last time I tried to use it, which was on Prison 4, did not work because brute force isn't an effective strategy. I'm so fucked. I killed the Ricky and I fucked myself. Of course you say beat Minecraft instead of write Shakespeare, like the actual thing is. No, it fucking isn't. Ah, shit. You can't beat Minecraft on a typewriter. No, you can't. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a typewriter if you like plugged it into a monitor. Firstly, that's not how typewriters work. Secondly, it wouldn't be considered a typewriter if it's just literally acting like a keyboard. What? What do you mean by that? But can you beat Minecraft like that? You could beat Minecraft entirely via things pushing you. Oh, damn! But how would the Ender Dragon die? But what about the crystals? Via? Enderman can't break the crystals. No way. Ah, goddamn it. You know what? This is the most stimulating conversation I've had with a person while doing this challenge. Or no, second most. No, because a lot of people are really fucking bad at conversation and will, like, barely be able to hold up a conversation while I'm doing this. And it's really fucking boring. And then sometimes there's the worst people where they're where they think that they know the challenge so much better than I do and try and fix every quirk they think that I have with the challenge, even though they don't understand like half of why I do anything and are just like, why don't you do this or this or this? And most of them are just like, kill this enemy that you need to get through lasers. And it pisses me off sometimes. What? That's why spin a big arrow and that arrow always comes back to Minecraft? What the fuck? You know what? I'm gonna go back to Minecraft with this conversation. Basically, it's like if people saw a like a world record Minecraft speedrun, like random seed, and then we're like, why do you open the settings so many times? What if you just didn't do that? Yeah, no, but still, it's on that same line. And it's annoying sometimes, but then sometimes their advice will be helpful. Because I have gotten good advice from people. Mainly from the person who invented the predecessor challenge to this, the min roll challenge. In min roll, you roll the minimum amount of times, but in min puts, you use the keyboard the minimum amount of times. So basically, min roll is this, but a lot less difficult because you can jump and move and freely interact with things. It doesn't really help to interact with things all that often. There are a few situations where it helps, but um, most of the time interacting doesn't help all that much. But it would be nice if I wasn't limited. Because if an interaction isn't deadly necessary to the run, then it's not happening. Because that's how min inputs works. Yeah, if you can avoid it, you avoid it. Priority is inputs, not time. Actually, for a game that has like, I think the world record is about. Here, wait. I can just pop up speedrun.com. Um, for a game whose world record is 15 minutes 11 seconds, or no, 16 minutes 21 seconds, being able to remove the keyboard entirely from that equation and get a time of 40 under 45 minutes, I'd say is pretty damn impressive. No, it's based on default keyboard controls. That's another thing that people always are like, what if I just plug in a controller? Boom, not using the keyboard. What if I rebind controls all to the mouse? Boom, boom, not keyboard. So I like had to reword the rules that I like have mentally come up with to specifically not allow those because that's not really in the spirit of the challenge. Yeah. I just was like, no, that's not allowed because that's not really, it's not even fun at that point. Yeah. People also were like, oh, do you allow half inputs like Super Mario Min A presses? And I don't think they exactly knew how that notation worked when they were referencing it, but it's too late now because I didn't know at the time. But I was just like, no, because holding roll throughout the entire run isn't really meaningful. Like, if I'm allowed to roll throughout the entire challenge, in a challenge where rolling should be not possible, it's not much of a challenge. Because it would remove a lot of nuance to the routing. Like, it basically just become hold roll and D the entire challenge, except for these two rooms. And it's just like, that's not interesting. There's no nuance in what I have to route now. Like, yeah, it makes the thing easier, but like, it has no nuance. At least in Super Mario 64, it like actually adds in like, oh, if you do this like clever little trick, then bam. But for like, but for this, because everything is in order, and because there's no real situation where holding an input doesn't get you anything, then it's just beneficial to always be holding those inputs, except for the two rooms where they actually do detriment. And also, it makes dealing with deaths a little bit icky, because technically, you could start holding it, because only inputs held on your successful runs count. So, you could technically just be holding an input while in a run, then die, then technically you didn't press the input on that on that successful run, but you still pressed it. So it's just weird. It's weird to moderate, and I was just like, no. For what? To complete this level? Well, thus far. Here, I can actually bring up how many deaths it's taken me to get this far. Um, so go to Xia, and then go to the point where I get into null test. So I came in with 169. It's taken me about 2,100 to get how far I am. Theoretically, if I were to do it again, I would be much, much better. So I'd say like about 1,000. Because I am learning things while doing this. And I know from experience that I will come back to this with doing better than I did um, in this run. Because I've done this before where I like do hard mode min puts and then I'll come back and do the exact same setup of the challenge, but instead with Master Sword. But I'll take like way less time. Like going from 19 hours to 5 hours, I think it was, which is a very big improvement. And like null test took me 4 hours the first time with Master Sword, but then took me like half an hour the second time. Just because I learned what I needed to do. It gives you a projectile. Everything dies instantly. So it gives you a projectile, which makes this a lot easier because you can deal with enemies a lot quicker. So it makes the cycles a lot easier to control and also makes a lot of enemies easier because you don't have to deal with them really. Um, I'm not sure. I'm probably gonna do a few normal mode runs just because they're fun. They're like a 44-minute time sink, but they're still pretty damn fun. And it's always satisfying because basically everything I do is a world record. So yeah. No, I mean the challenge run, but like normal mode. This is hard mode. I'm talking about doing normal mode. Maybe with Master Sword, maybe with Katana. Katana is basically the exact same as Master Sword, just it has a little bit of a faster cooldown, but no projectile. Um, well, the shorter cooldown definitely, at least in for this challenge, can lead to faster times, just because you're spending less time waiting on cooldown, because your only method of movement is from slashing. So if you can slash less, then you're gonna move less. But thus far, typically for at least my world record runs, I've used Master Sword because Headhunter at the end of the run ends up being a massive bitch of a fight and will like ruin runs. Like I'll get on world record pace and then fuck um and then I'll take like an hour or no, like 15 minutes on just the final screen of the game. And it'll like ruin record runs, which got really sad after a while. So I swapped to Master Sword, which basically makes the final screen of the game obsolete. Damn. I'd show you some of the cooler tricks in the run because there's a lot of really cool tricks in this run and like a lot of tech. But I just this isn't the room to show you. But actually, some of the tech that I've discovered in this run is actually usable for individual level speedruns. Because like for normal speedruns, it's a little bit too risky. But there is actual tech that is valuable to individual speedruns, individual level speedruns, which I'm very proud of. Ah, shit. Fuck! That was right near the end. Fuck. Damn. That's like inches away from the end. That's a sign that it's possible, though. Though I need to push out a little bit more. Like, after I kill the right shield guy, I need to, like, push back. Because otherwise I get, caught by the, laser. And being caught in a corner by the laser is the worst spot to be. When dealing... Fuck off! Bro, shoot one bullet my way. Being caught in a corner with the laser is the worst possible situation. So, I don't want that. As is obvious, given the fact that being in the worst possible position is worse than being in the best possible position. Wild, I know. Yeah. I'm a genius of the generation. Shut the fuck up about the campfire. I wanted the stuff from it. No, don't think about the blue campfire. Also the bee incident. Okay, so that one, I can't really excuse, because I knew exactly what was gonna happen. Or, well, I didn't know I was gonna die from it. I didn't know I was gonna die from it. I was just like, hopefully there aren't bees in here. Hopefully there are bees in here. Because I thought the max was 3, too, though. Because they were in my way! They were in my way. Oh my god, that was wild. Fuck. God damn it, Leon. Oh yeah, that's the guy who's... Uh... Theoretically, the player thinks that Leon is sniping them right now. Like, lore-wise, that's what the player should be thinking right now. But technically, he's in his cryogenic goon tube. As the Discord has called it, like, once. So, we don't actually know who's sniping me. But theoretically, it's Leon. The fucking greasy son of a bitch. Ah, damn. I needed to go closer. Nice. Nice. Fuck! That one. I felt like that one was gonna be the one. Typically with like the problem levels, there's always like some straw that breaks the camel's back that lets me get it. Like, for Mansion 4, literally just one discovery. Like, I made one discovery and then I got it the exact next run. And then Mansion 5, uh, it's very specific to the level and I can't exactly explain it without having to show you the level. And it's also, like, very specific. It's weird. It was a thing that it basically just allowed me a lot more thinking time. But yeah, just doing that discovery allowed me to get the run first try after that. In Mansion 5, I figured out one little thing about how I could route it, and then like 3-ish attempts after that, I get it. There's just always something that I learn, and then I get it. I just don't know what the thing I'm gonna learn is for this one. Why? What about it? What's your problem with, like, all of the things? Uh-huh. And? You got a problem with that? Fuckhead? Oh, damn, those lasers spread. Hmm. That would be useful if it was actually usable. God. I'm thinking, like, if I could cause the first laser to slow down relative to the second laser, I could make it so that I can dodge the lasers a lot easier, because if they're more on top of each other, then it's only really dodging one laser instead of two. But it's almost impossible to do that because it's basically, I think it's based on a thing with frames per second, which means that I can't exactly change it without making this invalid as a run. Bum 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 bum. I could most definitely use a metronome there to make myself more consistent. I'm not gonna, because that's like pussy nerd shit. Bum 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 bum. You know what? Music. You know what's going through my mind now. Things with love now. You can find someone I thought was dumb. I might go ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. I'm so scared to my life. And I'll rather try. Maybe you're out of time. Stomach hurts, but I don't mention the blood. I need doctor for the mess that I become. And I find it hard to see. So you spark out, don't you think? Tell me, or is it just me? And she took my coat 'cause it was cold, and we took pictures with her phone. She left her Polaroid out on my exit. All my friends, I wrote that I was falling for this girl. Her eyes were glowing hazel pearls. Her told that she was my world, and she said, yeah, she said no. Ba, ba. Yeah, she said no. Yeah, she said no. Ba. Yeah, she said no. Yeah, she said no. Give a fuck who I am, and blame you, I hate me too, but I can't do a lot to change it. thoughts in my head. I'm faceless, I'm nameless, I'm better off dead. I'm so sorry, please excuse my mess. It's been worthless, I can do it again. I'm a boy without pen, ukulele. Not out of debt, I have spoken, in my bed. Over and heart is sad, I hate you, you wish you were dead. Picked up my book, cause it was golden. Fuck me, goddamn! He missed so wildly that I fucked it. I was falling for this girl, her eyes were glowing hazel pearls. I told her that she was my world, and she said, yeah, she said no. Ba, ba, yeah, she said no. Yeah, she said no. Ba, yeah, she said no. You know what? After like 15 more attempts, I'm gonna take a break and go like eat dinner, and then I'll be back after dinner. Turn the world upside down. Actually, after this song. Okay. Or a story about a savage dog. Was dapper dancing over the line. And John jealous. Made him cry. Na na na. His eye. La la la. And pick on such a friendly little guy. This town was kind of broken. Now the place is moving, the door is open. Backward, backward, both men and then hoping you get away. Na na na, okay, la la la. Maybe his mama used to play. When it feels like all the world is wearing a frown, put a smile on it, spread it around. The smile like turn the world upside down. Ba da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Now here's the lyric. Entitled every time you hear it. Every single lyric and you sing it. Maybe dream it. All day and night, na na na, in every fight, la la la. Okay, if you knew what it was like in town, have it. You got rewarded in your new habit. Backward, play through cabbage and your cabbage. Always living lavish. Day and day, na na na. Anyway, la la la. Song his mama used to play. When it feels like all the world is wearing a frown, put a smile on it, spread it around. While he turned the world upside down, da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da. Da 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 da. Feels like all the world is wearing a frown. Put a smile on it, spread it around. While it turned the world upside down. Oh, that's the end of the song. 3 more attempts. 1. 3 more attempts where I get past laser. 2. 3. This is... Nope. I'm only done 2. This is the last attempt. Fuck! Oh, shit. This level sucks! I'm inching my way towards the hour mark. That's the wrong VC.